Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome back to another episode of Always Almost There. We are here today for the follow-up to last night's episode. We are talking about the 2025 Goose Jam of the Year bracket, part two. Second two regions, we will be revealing the seeds to you today. I'm Ryan.
I'm Neil.
And I'm Brian, aka Jive Goose.
Kev unfortunately couldn't make it tonight. He got suspended for being too vibey on last night's episode, and so we couldn't have him on again tonight.
We took a vote.
We couldn't have any more vibes. Too many.
I voted to have him back
last night.
Well, you got outvoted there. No, in all seriousness,
I would
by the way,
vote
we
for
didn't.
Kev to be back.
Yeah, we didn't vote to suspend Kev, but he unfortunately couldn't make it tonight. But we're here tonight to talk about the second. Okay, what? Yeah.
I think this is a good opportunity before we dive into podcast things to talk about how 90 to 99% of the things said on this podcast are done tongue in cheek. So, we don't dislike vibes. We certainly don't dislike Kev. He's one of our best friends.
We've got vibes happening with our intern back here once again tonight.
Way to go, Josh. He's filling the void, the vibes void. And
we've got some vibes here. But yeah, I mean, we don't dislike vibes since when? Anyway, we had some good, fun, lighthearted banter on Blue Sky today, which was a lot of fun. Yeah, Josh saving the pod. Well, before we get started tonight, there's some housekeeping to take care of. Of course, we mentioned last night, but if you haven't heard, first of all, if you haven't heard last night's episode, go check it out. We go through the first half of the bracket, the turbulence and lazy regions, which is the bottom half. Also, tomorrow morning, the bracket challenge will be open on aatgoosepod.com. Along with, you'll be able to see the whole bracket in all of its glory again tomorrow morning once we've painstakingly gone through and revealed it one matchup at a time tonight. You will be able to enter for a full week, so you will have time to listen to the jams, fill out your brackets. Also, for easy listening, we will be posting the bracket in order of matchup, the Nugs playlist on our social media. Yes, B?
I have a question. Because I think a lot of people
questions for after I do the spiel.
I think a lot of people are going to have this question right now, and that is,
yep.
Do I need to do email verification to do the bracket challenge? And can it be the same email verification that I use to vote, or is it a separate email verification, or no email verification needed?
So
it's terribly confusing.
It's on the site. You do need to enter your email. It's an embedded widget from a different thing for the bracket.
It's too technical.
It's too technical. But you do need to register for an account on aatgoosepod.com and verify the email to vote.
That also means you, Jive. You need to register for.
You do need to register.
I'm not. I thought I was automatically registered.
No, that's not how this works. I can put in your email for you, but you have to click the verification link.
Yes.
Anyway, so we will be sharing the playlist in matchup order that will be posted on our socials and to aatgoosepod.com in the morning. If you would like to enjoy the playlist in order from 1 to 64, the ranked playlist, that will be live on the Goose Artist page in the Nugs app tomorrow morning. So shout out to our friends at Nugs for hosting that there. Really excited to have our 6th playlist hitting the app. But of course, the bracket challenge will be open for a week. Submissions will close on Monday, January 12th at 11:30 a.m. Eastern, and the first matchups of round 1 will begin that day at noon. So January 12th at noon Eastern is when voting will begin. So it's coming up fast, and I'm excited.
So I'm just gonna jump in one more time and just ask for some clarification.
Yes.
So there's the bracket challenge, and then there's the bracket.
Yes.
I'd like to talk about why those two things are different and what participation in each looks like if one's required for the other, and so on and so forth. Can you do that for us?
Yes.
Yes. Yeah.
So the bracket challenge is optional. You do not need to participate in this to vote. And if you do this, you also don't have to vote. But this is March Madness style in that you fill out an entire bracket in advance of voting beginning. And then you get points based on how the voting ends up. So, for example, if you vote in the lazy region, if you in the Ben Thatch versus Milwaukee Arcadia matchup, you have the Ben Thatch advancing to the second round, and that happens, you get 1 point. And you get more points the further into the tournament you get. And the winner at the end gets a wonderful, wonderful prize, which is a Golden Strange Man figurine. We all know Uncle Fred's Jive is going to win his 4th one this year. In addition to that, there's some amazing prizes provided by our friends at Nugs, some merch here, some pins from Kev, as we have every year. But look forward to all of that.
Many great prizes.
Many great prizes. Many people are saying.
You also have to, I think, there's actually 3 things.
Oh.
There's voting in the matchups. There's submitting your picks for the bracket challenge. And then there's submitting your seeds and being part of the crowd seeding.
That already happened.
But you don't have to what I'm saying is there's no connection between any of the 3.
Yes.
You can do, you can do 1 and not the other 2.
You can do 2, you can do 3.
Or you can do 2 and not the 3rd.
Yes.
And if you're Drive Goose, you can do 0.
Wait, hold on. That's not
no,
true.
it's just kidding. He submitted a seed playlist. Whether he votes or not is TBD, but
I only vote in the tiebreaker.
Yeah. That's his tradition.
That's his tradition. It's true.
Yeah, that is the way that it works.
All right. Well, are we good on the housekeeping front? Can we get started tonight?
Let's see. Kev suspended, bracket challenge, voting. Yeah, I think we got it all.
I have more questions
we had it all.
around but I'm going to hold them until later.
We that can be once we've revealed the bracket, we can go through the whole verification process. Neil can reveal the code. Be Done might be satisfied at the transparency. We don't know. But without further ado, we are going to dive right in here. It is time for us to get started. I feel like I should have redone this layout without the weird vacant 3rd thing at the bottom. Ready? Here's what I'm going to do. Bear with me here, folks.
Sure. Should I tell a story here?
That's
kind of thing where an onstage.
I think
thing?
You should.
There we go. I think that's good. Not quite
Neil's
centered.
Tell a story.
All right, Neil, you going to tell a story?
No, I'm good. Let's go.
All right. So it is time for us to head into the Madalena region. For those who missed last night, here's where we're at. There will be more high-res versions posted tomorrow, as well as a printable version. But here we are in the Madalena region, matchup number 1. The Milwaukee Madavon at a 1 seed from February 7th versus 16 seed MSG Factory Fiction from June 28th. Listen. Neil, you and I were at MSG. We had an absolutely amazing time. This Factory Fiction was an incredible moment, one of the coolest moments of its goose-going career, and it does not belong anywhere near this bracket, in my opinion. Maybe not anywhere near, but it doesn't belong in this bracket, in my opinion. The Milwaukee Madavon is my number 3 ranked jam overall, very deserving of its 1 seed. A crowd favorite here, getting ranked by our 150 or so people at number 2 overall. This one handily wins this matchup for me. It's a tight.
Yeah. It's a 116 matchup. So I think it's a foregone conclusion to say it's true. It's going to win. But this Madavon is quite spectacular. This is like a ye old Madavon. It reminds me of like a 2022 Madavon for some reason. That's what I think of when I listen to it versus the other Madavons this year, which I think are very different. So excellent Madavon. This Factory Fiction is it's almost like a note for note, slightly sped up album version from Chain Your Dragon.
Right.
And it's cool. And I understand why it made the bracket, but yeah, for me, it doesn't stand a chance.
Yeah, this Madavon's my number 2 overall. So I think, right in lockstep with the people.
Wisdom of the crowds.
I'll only say this once tonight. But this song, Factory Fiction, I'm speaking to now, it absolutely does belong in the bracket. And I'll tell you why. Because the people seated it that high. You know what I mean? And
Wisdom of
that's
the crowds.
Yeah.
It's- yeah.
I'd say it belongs,
Okay.
just based
Yeah.
on that.
Yes. Yes, we are going to take some heat for that. I mean, I think it's important to say, like when Brian says something like it doesn't belong anywhere near the bracket, he's
That was
leaving
a
out
bit
the,
hyperbolic.
in my opinion, comma. So that is his
Well, I
opinion.
mean,
It's not
anything that comes out of my mouth is an opinion.
Yes, absolutely. It's certainly not fact,
No.
especially when it comes to analysis of jams.
right.
Nobody agrees with you, but that's okay.
Some people do. There's one significant ranking that we haven't gotten to yet. People agreed with me on, but anyway.
Really? Hey,
Yeah.
for what it's worth, this was my number 2 overall. Also,
Yeah.
This Madhavan.
Absolutely phenomenal Madhavan here. Yeah, it's great. Number 2, the absolutely ridiculously underseeded Sterling Heights Big Modern 919 at an 8 seed versus the Gonzo Thatch at a 9 seed from May 10th. Just for perspective, I had this Big Modern at 16 overall, and I had this Thatch at 11 overall, which granted, I say this Thatch I had this ranked much too high. And I recognized that before I submitted my playlist, and I didn't really care because as I talked about yesterday, and as I talk about a lot on this podcast, I absolutely adore dark, demented, dissonant jams. And this is one of the best examples of that style this year. It does not do pretty much anything that is typical of Thatch, deconstructs almost immediately, and it's the best jam to come out of Gonzo for sure. This Big Modern is the GOAT Big Modern to date. It's fantastic. You get a fantastic peak in the first half, and then it happened a few times this year, usually in Hunger Sites, but this like deep, psychedelic, slow, like wind down outro thing. Amazing collab work from Peter, kind of this Pink Floyd vibe. And I'm honestly completely in awe of the fact that this Big Modern is an 8 seed. I understand this Thatch is a little bit polarizing because of the style of jamming. And so it coming in as a 9 seed is a little bit disappointing for me. But I get it. But this Big Modern to me should be a 6 seed at worst. This is a between 4 and 6 for me. But GOAT Big Modern, jump shot caveat, Big Modern or bust.
Yeah, man,
I do actually, despite my rankings, I do have Big Modern winning this matchup.
Yes. So this Big Modern is the GOAT Big Modern. This is the Big Modern that changed me as a person. It was like I was visited by 3 spirits and woke up in the morning.
Actually, it was me who visited you.
If
you're getting visited by a Big Modern related spirit, it's me.
The people like to come up to me at shows and be like, how do you hate Big Modern? And I don't. This one's sick. And it was my number 13 overall.
Yeah.
Number 13. And you know what? I think I ranked it too low, high. I don't know, whatever to say. Like I should have had it in the top 10. I really should have, because it has all the elements of a jam that should be in the top 10. I hope Josh is okay. But in any case, it is truly an excellent version. This Thatch, I, like you, Ryan, enjoy the total dissonant chaos jams. I had it, let's see here. I had it 19 overall. So definitely higher than this. I'm shocked by both of these, and they both make me super sad.
Yeah.
I mean, that can like not make it out of the first round, and I won't be sad, but I will be sad if Big Modern doesn't really go far, and it's not going to. It doesn't stand a chance.
Listen, either of these jams, based on our rankings and pretty much public opinion, is getting steamrolled by the Milwaukee Madhavan in round 2. So
yeah, right, exactly.
Yeah, I have the Thatch at 34. I mean, it's good, but that's the right spot for me. The Big Modern, though, I actually have it 42. So
of course you do.
Sounds like I need to. Well, you know what's funny is I think maybe I didn't want to rank too many Big Moderns too high because I got so much grief.
You did. That's true.
From Neil.
No, not from me, dude. Don't even.
You got grief over your ranking of one Big Modern in February.
It was like the
last year, all of last year. But
Well, last year,
let's
yeah.
not,
I mean,
let's
you
not revisit
you
that.
probably like the Homedale one more than this.
But I think the Big
all right.
Modern wins this easily.
Yeah.
Yes.
I would say. I think this will be a close match. But yeah, I mean, this Big Modern ranking it makes me sad. It hurts my heart a little bit.
Yeah. It's the GOAT Big Modern. I mean, it deserves more than to be trounced in the second round, but that's what's going to happen.
Yeah. All right. Well, next matchup, we get another Goosemas Jam 5 seed Providence Goosemas Arrow featuring Stuart Bogey. So improper goose, according to some, proper goose, according to our bracket standards, versus the 12 seed 215 Hunger Site from Grand Rapids. And I know this Hunger Site gets a lot of chatter online because it's like, dude, it's like Rick, and it's such a peak, and it's like, okay, it's slightly different than normal Hunger Sites, but and it's a very enjoyable jam, as you know, Hunger Sites are. But I don't understand why this is a 12 seed. You know, I didn't rank this jam. To me, it's a 17, 18-minute Hunger Site that's slightly above average. Whereas this Arrow, I mean, obviously there's a big gap between these two jams in terms of ranking, but this Arrow is incredible. The last bunch of minutes, just you get super dark, Rick hammering those big distorted chords. And yeah, this one easily wins this match for me. But
you know, like all arrows, it's what I feel like this is the thing we do. We just say, well, like those last couple of minutes are sick. I think actually what buoys this thing is the presence of Stuart Bogey kind of pushing Rick.
Bogies this thing?
Yeah, it buoys it. It causes it to
I know what you said.
up.
I understand.
The joke wasn't good. This Hunger Site is pretty good. It fell off my radar. I took it off my playlist in February. And I was like, well, it's not really long enough. There's going to be so many better jams. And I think when we look at this bracket overall, I think we have, I don't know if the data actually holds up to this. We'll ask Adam to take a look. But I think we have like more sub 18-minute jams in this bracket than we've ever had. And so I didn't look at this early in the year. And like I should have kept looking at it because it's actually really, really good. And I don't agree with your assessment that it's a standard Hunger Site. And this is the kind of thing I was talking about where sometimes things that don't end up on our bracket, they end up in the bracket. And we're like, oh, well, shit, man. I probably should have thought about that one a little bit more. And so I see why folks voted this one in. It is very good. Weirdly, I think both of these are slightly overseeded, but not terribly so. So I think this Arrow does win and then doesn't really go any further. I don't know. Maybe it does. But in any case, they're both enjoyable. There's nothing terribly wrong here. No injustice was done.
I mean, yeah, I had Arrow. I had Arrow at 29 overall. So
yeah, I had the Arrow. Let's see, I had it at 35 overall. I didn't rank the Hungers. Yeah, but
yeah,
that's what it is.
Yeah, I agree with every point that you made, Neil. I'm right there with you,
as per usual.
Yeah, it's funny how we do that. We're always in agreement.
All right, that's all you got. You're just. You second here on everything Neil said.
We have the exact same opinion, so I don't need to repeat it.
That's crazy how that works.
Yeah,
all right, matchup number 4 in the Madalena region. The 4 seed Guilford Rockdale from June 27th versus the 13 seed 2-8 Milwaukee Fish in the Sea. Wow, another jam that I didn't think needed to make the bracket and that I didn't rank. This Fish in the Sea was the first Fish in the Sea to truly get jammed out, and people were very excited about it at the time, including me. And then Guilford happened, and kind of made this one mostly irrelevant. While that doesn't usually affect rankings, this one kind of goes into like that klezmer-y, Rick forward jam for a while, and that's kind of the whole thing that it does. Not anything super crazy for me, and again, I didn't rank it. This Rockdale is another one in the saga of the SPAC Drive and the Hunger Salt and amazing jams, and is one of the best Rick jams of the year, I think. Really fantastic jam. It wins this matchup for me very easily. And I have it squeaking by the Arrow in the second round, but that one could go either way, and I wouldn't be super unhappy about it. I had Rockdale ranked at 23 overall.
Yeah, this Rockdale, let's see here. I had it 30th overall, which actually I think I maybe knocked it down a bunch. There was a lot of discussion about how, the similarity of this jam and another jam and another jam. But I think this particular Rockdale there's more to it than just the SPAC drive section.
For sure.
It's got a lot going on, and it really is an excellent jam. I mean, I might have a little attendance bias here because
and Rick, I mean, one of the things that happens is Rick breaks a string right at the end, and
oh yeah,
the last
all hell breaks
10
loose.
seconds is just not the right notes.
Well, it's just, the analogy that I like is it's like when Marty McFly is like playing the guitar and then everything's going wrong and he's about to die, so he's like falling down and like he's fucking up all the parts. Like that is like what happened with Rick. And the really funny part is if you listen really close on the stream, they're like, Rick is the first one laughing at the end.
Yeah.
It's like, well, that one didn't go well. So
Yeah.
and that part is a pretty neat part, but it's pretty good. And this Fish in the Sea, man, is actually pretty good. And I'm glad folks voted this back into the bracket. I'm the vibes guy today because Kev's not here. But
Oh boy.
the Fish in the Sea from Guilford has kind of this big piano section, which I think is one of the things that anchors it. This Fish in the Sea also has that. I think you get a little bit more active Rick, which is pretty cool. And then you kind of go into this like kind of Santana-ish, like Latin feel that to me feels like the landlady for like a big chunk of this. And like, man, I'm down with that 100%. So it's great. I'm glad it's in the bracket. It's a 13 seed. It is harmless. This Rockdale moves on immediately. And I'm glad we have an opportunity to listen to this one and talk about it.
Yeah, I also did not rank this Fish in the Sea, but I had Rockdale up quite a bit higher than you guys. I had it at 10 overall.
Wow.
I'm a huge fan. So I think it takes this easily, and then I don't think it has a problem with the arrow either.
You should come to shows in the Northeast. Maybe you'll see jams like this.
I think it's a no.
I know.
Like Northeast Colorado.
Yeah, there we go. All right, our next matchup here, matchup number 5 in the Madalena region. We have the Alpharetta Matavon at a 6th seed from September 26th up against the Vegas. This is Brooklyn Bowl Vegas B. Dustin Hoffman at an 11 seed. I just want to start by saying that this Alpharetta Matavon is pretty underseeded. I mean, I had it at 13 overall. There are a lot of people who knows. I was reading a comment and
sure.
You know how that goes.
We don't need your excuses.
There are a lot of people who have a lot of support for this jam, and I'm honestly shocked that it got ranked so low. This is a fantastic jam. There's another jam coming up later in this region that kind of does the dark churning thing into bliss a little bit better, but this is just an amazing example of a different style of dual guitar Matavon from the big February versions. But I love this jam. This Dustin, also no slouch. Also I think underranked based on where I had it. I had it 27 overall, and it's an 11 seed here. So pretty crazy. Yes, Alex in the chat. The theme of the Madalena region is brutal matchups, apparently. I wouldn't say brutal in terms of difficult, but brutal in terms of some of the seedings.
Whoa. No, I think it is it's difficult. Some of these are hard choices. Some of these make you sad. You expect some to be higher, some to be lower. I had this Matavon 11 overall. I like this one a lot. And I forgot about this. We were talking about Matavons yesterday, how there was like a formula for them. And, there's kind of this whole, it was like quiet and then dark and then you're out. This one's different. This one it's got a prolonged kind of major key section that to me sounds, I'm just comparing everything to Fish now, two brackets or matchups in a row, but it sounds like Hood to me for a bit. It evokes the same emotions that Harry Hood does. And dude, a sick song, and Matavon also a sick song. So, this is just excellent stuff. And I wish there were more versions like this year. It's pretty great. This Dustin Hoffman has kind of an extended thatch vibe, specifically like a SPAC thatch vibe, and it's cool. Doesn't stand a chance against this thing. Like I said, I had it. What would that make it? A 3 seed in my bracket, not a 6. This Madhavan sails.
Yeah.
I didn't. So again, I didn't have the Dustin Hoffman in my playlist, and I had this Madhavan at 31. So interesting. It's just really quick as an aside, and I remember talking about this months ago, but I think just between like the group of us, I'll just start there. I think there's so much more variance between our picks this year, but far and away, more than any other year. And so, these last couple, matchups have, I guess just kind of brought that to the surface for me. Me having the Rockdale so much higher, Neil has this Madhavan so much higher. So it's super interesting, and it's also why, I had 16 songs in my playlist that didn't make the bracket. So that variance, then, expands out to the whole community. So it's kind of cool. I mean, I think it makes us a lot more interesting when, not everyone is so agreeable. It used to be like our top 10s were almost the same set of songs, maybe in a different order here and there. But anyway, really cool stuff. Lots of variance. Love to see it. And it's, it says a lot about what Goose is doing out there. So
I think Neil and I have a pretty similar top 10 in terms of what songs are in there.
Yeah, no, I think Jive's point overall is that Goose is doing a lot of interesting things, and I think you can take things in a lot of different directions now. We had a smaller sample size to pull from this year, but still we had a lot of variance, and I think that is great. It's an indication of, the quality of music that's happening, right? You're getting like better jams at every show, I think, in general. And, I think when you kind of zoom in and you think about Fall Tour, and I think folks had a lot of problems with the lack of jamming in Fall Tour, but then I think when you sit there and look at the end of the year, how it all shook out, there's a lot of really good stuff that I think a lot of people can latch onto in different ways. So the jamming styles have changed significantly. I think in like 2021, our top 10 was like all the same. Except like maybe we swapped a thing or two,
Right.
And that wasn't because we were only listening to each other and saying like, well, these are the things that they should be. I think it was just because that's where it just shook out. Like there wasn't enough stuff to really make any choices there. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So in any case, this is cool. And I do like that there's so much variance here. And I think that also underscores the idea that, hey, listen, if our picks don't agree with yours, that is 100% okay. That doesn't mean we think you're wrong. I certainly think
it also doesn't mean that we fudged the data to get a jam.
Well, yeah, that doesn't need to be said, Ryan. We're obviously not doing that. But like, in any case,
some people
if our picks disagree, it's because they, everybody's picks disagree. I mean, Jive is just 100% wrong about this model. That's sick. Sorry.
All right. Matchup number 6 in the Madalena region, we've got the Boise Rosewood Heart at a 3 seed from June 1st versus the Wilmington All I Need from June 17th at a 14 seed. I mean, this is the longest jam in the bracket. This is the second longest jam that the band has ever played. This is a powerhouse. The last 10 minutes of this jam is one of my favorite things that they did all year. Unfortunately, they take a really long time to get to that last 10 minutes. This was also one of the clips selected by the band the other day to share from their favorite moments of 2025. This was also one of the most selected jams by people this year. This was one that was pretty across the board. A lot of people had this in the top half of their lists. Even the stuff that came in on the top seeds, the 1 seeds, some people had a lot lower down. But as I was importing the playlist, I kept kind of being surprised at how many times I saw the Boise Rosewood towards the top of people's lists. So this is one that people really love, which is surprising given its length. I feel like there are some long jams that people might struggle to get through. But this one's a favorite. This All I Need is very, very solid. So I had this All I Need at, where are we here? Can't be that high. Oh, I had this All I Need at 42 overall. and I had the Rosewood at 28. So solid here. I like this All I Need. It's kind of like, Westville Light a little bit. It's the precursor to that one in terms of the Bliss Jam. You get a really cool, kind of cool down, quieter few minutes towards the end. But overall, it's nothing super crazy. This Rosewood wins for me and then loses to the Alpharetta Matavan.
Yeah, this Rosewood, the last 8 minutes of this Rosewood are absolutely phenomenal. And the first 30 minutes are, as you already said, somewhat pedestrian. Not fully, though. It's above average. It has an excellent Type 1 section, and it kind of kicks into the Type 2 section. And it's, it's nothing truly remarkable, but still very good. Braided Rick is a vibe.
Braided Choker Rick.
Braided
Choker Power Stance Rick. We can keep going.
They were feeling it, and they wanted to jam. And man, we can't complain about jams like this. If we complain about jams like this, then we're just.
I wasn't complaining.
We say all the time that they need to sit there and develop ideas and let them breathe.
Yeah.
And jam for longer and longer and see what the hell happens. That's what they did in this one.
Yeah.
But I agree with you though that the first 30 minutes or so are not. I don't know what the word is.
Not as
super
focused
remarkable.
Or dialed. Yeah.
Yeah, but the last 8 minutes.
They hit something in the last 8 to 10 minutes. That's
the last 8 minutes are incredible. So if people really have this high on their list, I think they're right. It's super, super awesome stuff. And I liken it to I was doing this on the internet the other day and people push back pretty hard, but it reminds me of the New Haven Tweezer where it's just like bar by bar, they're like Rick is feeding the beast and it's just getting crazier and crazier. And then Cotter's is goading him to go faster, and they're both going faster and faster and faster and faster, and then it just kind of explodes, which reminds me exactly of the New Haven Tweezer. More Fish references today. That's what we're doing. Fish references on every pick. Yeah, dude, it's got that vibe for me, and I love that. It's like pulled from the same part of the cosmos that jam was, and both of those really resonate with me. So it's sick. I don't know about the next round. I'd have to sit and think about it a little bit more. But this All I Need, by the way, very, very good. I don't think of it as New Haven Light. I think of it as a rager, which is interesting. But in any case, it's good. And I had it actually ranked pretty high. I had it 26 overall in my bracket, which would have made it 7th seed.
Where'd you have Rosewood?
Rosewood, I had, I don't know if I actually placed it in the right place, but I had it at 14, which would have made it a 4 seed.
That's pretty high.
So
yeah,
I was right there with you guys, but on different jams. So Neil, I had the All I Need at 24, to your 26. So we both had it a bit higher than Ryan. Ryan, you had Rosewood, you said at 24 or 28?
I had it at 28.
I had it at 26. So I actually had the All I Need higher. But I mean, you make good points, Neil, about the Boise Jam. Then you said some things about it too, Ryan. I think I don't, because look, I'm probably one of those people that I don't love this jam. That's why I had it a little bit lower. But I think jams like this are important. I think there's a lot of value in the band doing stuff like this, even if 100%. Even if we don't get that value immediately out of, an amazing 28 minutes of improv, right? But it pays dividends, I think, down the road generally, like a lot of,
I've been saying that about this jam all year since it was played. Like, just because I have it ranked at 28 doesn't mean that I'm understating the importance of it in the broader context of Goose and what Neil says. Yeah, how we like playing a jam for 40 minutes and committing to 40 minutes of one song is going to tap into something like that last 8 minutes. Yeah. You don't get it minute 20.
Cool.
Anything else, Adby?
No, I forgot. I lost my train of thought.
Sorry. I got derailed. I wonder how that happened. Okay. Moving on now. We have the 7 seed, June 27th, Guilford Into the Mist. Versus the 10 seed 2-7 Redbird from Milwaukee. I mean, these are both kind of upbeat major key jams in a very different way. This Mist is very much just an all-out party, amazing groove. Kind of, I feel like led by Peter on the vintage vibe. Rick kind of cultivating a riff here. Redbird is more of a flowing, huge major key exploration. I ended up cutting the Redbird from my list towards the end of the year, actually. But I do have this Mist relatively high. I have this Mist at 24 overall. I'm a big fan of this jam. There's definitely a little bit of attendance bias there. But I love this one, and it wins this matchup for me.
This is a matchup of like super hopeful, optimistic jams.
Yeah.
And I find the Mist to be significantly better, in my opinion. But I get why people rank this Redbird pretty high. It's got a vibe to it, and it's good. But that's all I got to say.
I have the Mist at 9 overall. I'm a huge fan. And you mentioned, Peter. That's who I always think of too. And when he first dials up the vintage vibe, I just feel like that jam just takes off into such. It's just such a good feeling jam. It's kind of my Cap Rosewood type.
Don't
jam
insult this jam by comparing it to the Cap
Rosewood.
Rosewood.
No, but see how could that be an insult?
Because the Cap Rosewood's not that good.
It's so good. I've got the Redbird at 27. So I've got that one a little bit higher than too. But no, the Mist goes for me. I think we'll see who's this going to match up against. Who's Mist going to go up against?
Well, we haven't talked about it yet, but I'm not optimistic for its chances.
Yeah, no, it doesn't stand a chance.
Okay.
Based on
I haven't looked ahead. This is all. I'm seeing this reveal like everyone else. I have no idea what's coming.
For some reason, like when I listened to this, I wrote a jam chart for it, but I was too late with my jam chart, so it didn't actually become a jam chart. But I feel obligated to read it off to you right now because, like, this is what I think of when I listen to this thing.
Please.
Do we have 30 seconds for me to do that?
Of course we do.
Great. Okay, so here we go. It's a scene in the movie where the master plan is put into place and the machine to defeat the evil enemy is being made. The moment is serious. War is in our future, but we're filled with hope and joy. Someone makes a mistake. We all laugh. High fives are exchanged. We will win.
Is this a Redbird jam chart?
No, I was like channeling Jeffy on that one.
Yeah,
that's what I think of when I listen to it.
It's just like
yeah, it's like the A-Team. They're like building the machine. It's all going to happen, and then just like high fives, and we win.
Well, if you want a musical analysis version of that, head over to lgoose.net and check out our jam charts.
Amazing.
So I wrote about what happens in that jam instead of the A-Team.
Yeah, oh yeah, you wrote it first. My jam chart's way better.
Okay,
even if
all right.
It's a little ridiculous, but
all right.
In any case.
Cheers to Happy Meal. That's
damn right.
Yeah. All right, our final matchup of the Madalena region and the jam that is gonna curb stomp the Guilford Mist, theoretically. We have the 15 seed 621 Sinnerman from Canandaigua, New York. Some say Sinner Goons, and by some I mean me. Versus the 2 seed. No, actually, at least one person says that. Then up against the 2 seed 930 Wisteria Lane from Columbus, Ohio. The amazing jam, if I might say so myself. This is number 6 overall for me in the bracket. Absolutely incredible. The filth in the first half, transitioning into that like gorgeous second half. This is the jam I alluded to when I was talking about kind of the better version of the Alpharetta Madhavan, though it is still different. There's a really cool part in the dark churning part early on in this Wisteria where Peter adds some like Rhodes like delay stuff happening while he's still playing guitar, and it sounds really, really cool. But I absolutely adore this jam. At this show, Peter said Showhio is the Showhio of Showhio, which made me very happy. I just wanted to throw that in for Neil. This Sinnerman is the second best Sinner Goons of the year. I was surprised to see this one make the bracket, but hey, people love them some Goons. But this Wisteria is making the Elite 8 for me.
Yeah, dude. This Wisteria is, I don't know, incredible. It is the best of the year. Thanks, Goose, for doing one. That's sick.
Yeah, man.
You know, it
1
just
for
rips
6 or whatever.
every single other one that they did. I love how this one ends. It reminds me of, it is not a rehash of, but it reminds me of the Perry Echo from the 2021 bracket. Has that whole same energy at the end. And if that doesn't make you jump out of your seat and say, holy crap, this is a sick jam, then I don't know what to do for you. I mean, it really is excellent stuff. Like you, I find the other Centerman. Where was that played? It was Virginia?
Richmond.
Yeah. I like that one better
With the ring
than
mod.
this one. Yeah, it's a little grimier. And I was in attendance for this Centerman. And let me tell you, dude, vibes guys, Ryan, you can attest to this. I was 100%.
You were full vibes guy this show.
I was full of vibes. I was like laying in the lawn. I mean, I was having the best time of my life at this CMAC show. And while I enjoyed this version, I did not rank it for my bracket. This Wisteria, like you, I had it 6 overall.
I also did not have the Centerman in my playlist. So listen, I have to come clean. I remember when we were having conversations during the fall tour, and I think I said this is the jam of the tour, this Wisteria. But something happened at the end of fall, and then I lost track of my playlist for a while. I think I got locked out of Nugs or something. And so I didn't get all my fall stuff slotted in, where I'd like it to be. So I don't. It's my ranked fall jam in my playlist. I'll just say that, because I think that
we don't
says
need to
a lot.
Elaborate beyond there.
Great jam. Love to see this Wisteria, representing Wisteria in the bracket, which, Wisteria is always going to be one of those songs for me that if you just said, hey, what song do you want the jam of the year to come out of? I might choose Wisteria, more than any other song. I'll say that. So really awesome to see it up here as a 2 seed, and let's go. It's going to make some noise.
I mean, if I had my pick, I would say jam of the year should come out of Hojo. That would be sick. 38-minute
Hojo.
Hojo.
If I had my pick, I would say 40-minute Hojo, by the way.
Yeah.
If I had my pick, I would say that the jam of the year should come out of Big Modern.
I'd be all right with that.
Yeah,
I think we're getting there. I
think
2026 jam of the year could be coming out of Big Modern.
Let's go. Here's our Madalena region right here for your enjoyment. Our third of 4 regions in the bracket, and we've got one left. But any final thoughts on here before we head over to the Royal region?
Nope.
No.
All right. Well, I'm sad we don't have Kev here to sing a little bit of Royal for us before we move on here. But let's all imagine that Kev is singing the chorus of Royal right now. B, are you ready?
I'm ready.
Hit us with it.
Okay. Royal region matchup number 1 seed. Is this the 1 seed overall then, right?
Number 1 seed overall, the jam of the year. Let's fucking go. Yeah. We are celebrating right now. I honestly I was surprised that this made the number 1 overall rank. Very
let me read the matchup.
Please read the matchup.
And then we'll hand it off. Number 1 seed of the Royal region, 215 Matavan from Grand Rapids going up against 16 seed, another really low seeded Arcadia. Toronto.
Potato.
Also from February. A couple of February jams here. I don't know. What do you guys think of this one?
I mean, as I just mentioned, and as people know, this is my jam of the year. This is everything about this Madhavan is absolutely incredible. 2-guitar Goose, completely just dark and twisted for the whole thing. The way that Rick and Peter and Trevor and Cotter are all in perfect lockstep for the entire jam is insane. the way that Rick and Peter also hand who's playing lead guitar off to each other at different times is really insane. Cotter, this whole jam, ridiculous. And then, the cherry on top is when they like smash into the ending of the song and Peter just gives us a big woo. Like it just gets me every time. And it was in the encore. Like, whoever thought that we would get a 1 overall seed from an encore?
Encore that shit. And this is the best encore ever, by the way.
Yeah.
Because not only do you get this Madalena in the encore, you also get a 726 in this encore, which doesn't make any sense, but also shows you just how strong those shows were, right? They're truly amazing shows. And, this thing, I think people will want to call it a dissonant jam. I don't want to call it that. When I was saying yesterday, like how I had like all of my dissonant jams ranked, I don't even include this one in that because I just find it to be more than that. It is melodic and dissonant at the same time. It is truly an adventure. It is the best 2-guitar Goose for sure. And this is, I was saying before that the 2.7 Madalena is kind of like 2022 throwback Madalena. This is new Goose. This is where we're going. The other one is the past. This is the future. And I think this is really great. I would be surprised if this won the Jam of the Year, but
me too.
It's I think I had this ranked 3rd overall in my list. It's pretty good. This Arcadia, I think it makes the list. It made my list, by the way. It was my 64. And it made the list because it's just Ted Tape's 2024 Nebula. And I love Nebula. It's sick. And they just riff on Nebula for about 20 minutes. And hell yeah, man, that's a vibe. So throw it on the list.
You go.
So you said this Madalena your number 3 overall, but you had at least one Madalena ahead of it.
Yes.
Or do you have 3 Madalenas in your top 3?
No, I have my number 1 overall is Everything Must Go.
Which we haven't seen yet.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is your second Madalena.
Yes.
Of the year. It's my 3rd.
Wow.
But I have it at 13 overall. So I mean it's still a top jam. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Lots of Madalenas. Lots of February.
God, it's so good. It's such an absurd jam.
Cool. Slide.
Here we go.
Okay. See, we need Kev to talk about this Phoenix Hunger Site.
Yeah, he loves this Hunger
Site. Okay, read the matchup, please.
Phoenix Hunger Site. At the number 8 seed, taking on the number 9 seed. What is this?
It says it right there. Grand Rapids half step. Do you need glasses?
Oh man.
Grand Rapids half step.
Yeah.
The 213 threw me off because I'm thinking half step. So I'm thinking fractions.
So 2 out of 13 is not a half.
Yeah.
Great. This is we're intelligent. I promise you we're intelligent.
Just looks so funny to me. Anyway, I think this Hunger Site takes this pretty easily. I love seeing the half steps in the bracket as always. But yeah, this Hunger Site I actually had at number 22 overall.
I had it at 20.
I had it at 32.
Yeah.
Dead on.
There we go.
8.
I mean, yeah, this Hunger Site is fantastic. Like, it's fantastic. It's one of those ones. So different than with the Mountain Jam one, you have like pretty standard Hunger Site, and then that like beautiful, serene, cool down thing. This one, you get the Carnation Hunger Site, basically dragged and dropped, 9/21/24. Rick just in full major key bliss mode, just like, doing the thing. And then you get nasty Factory Fiction-ish second half, which is really good. This is my second highest Hunger Site of the year. I have it at 20. And I have this half step at 53. Hunger Site wins this matchup to me. I think both of these jams easily get beat by the Grand Rapids Madavon in round 2. But I want to throw it over to Neil to talk about this half step because this is his jam.
Well, I want to talk about this Hunger Site first because this Hunger Site is extraordinary.
A half step is your thing.
So the thing about Hunger Sites is they can be repetitive. You know, Pure Fire, then maybe you get like a little Bliss segment or something at the end, and then you're done, right? All year long, Rick just shreds. I mean, well, for years now, it's been like the thing. This thing flows like a Madavon. It like drops down to the grind, gets dark for a minute, then does a couple other different things, and feels nothing like a Hunger Site at all. And I welcome that. They should do that all of the time. This is a really incredible version. But, you know, the thing, everybody wants me to talk about this half step because it is incredible. And this is it is a small dose of the best 2-guitar Goose I have ever heard. And I don't know how people can't listen to this and say that they're completely blown away. So it sounds to me when I listen to this like the band Explosions in the Sky. And if you've never listened to Explosions in the Sky, maybe you've seen the show Friday Night Lights, the intro music. That intro music is really awesome, and it's, you know, emotional, and it's atmospheric, and it's really, really cool. That is the band Explosions in the Sky. They sound just like that when they do this version out of nowhere. They've never done anything like it before. They've never done anything like it since. And I am fluffing the hell out of this right now because I love Explosions in the Sky. I listened to them for more than a decade before I even heard of Goose. So when they did this, it blew my mind, and it still blows my mind. But I do acknowledge that it is a lower seed. So I'm not going to go like throw this up there and have it be my 8 seed and say like, hey, for a couple minutes, they sounded like Explosions in the Sky. So like, you know, this should be, you know, super high. I don't think that, but I do think this jam is creative. I think it's weirdly groundbreaking, even though they've never revisited this space. And my only hope is that I can fluff it enough that somebody hears this and it gets back to them, and then they play another jam like this jam. Because if they do and they start jamming like this regularly, people's minds are going to be blown. And I really hope that happens.
This is an intern-approved jam.
Yes. Heck yeah, Josh.
Yeah, this half step, it was my 63 overall, but it sat at the top of my, my high efficiency short jams playlist for most of the year, and then I ended up pulling a few jams from that list to kind of fill out my 64. But yeah, awesome. Fun jam. This is just a great one to throw on to. I love the ultra efficient jams. You can listen to almost 3 half steps to one Boise Rosewood. So I mean, what do you choose?
I'm choosing the half step. I listen to this half step 3 times in a row for sure.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah,
there you go.
Great song too, by the way. It's by the band The Grateful Dead.
Who?
Okay, hold on.
Yeah. That's the one with John Mayer.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay, ready?
I thought I was ready last time, but let's give it another shot. Okay. Matchup number 3, we've got the 5 seed, the Iowa City Creatures from 828. Go Iowa.
Have you heard this one?
I think so. I is it on my list? Going up against the 12 seed, the 612 Tumble, Indianapolis. So we got some Midwest jams here. I don't know. I think this is probably going to be closer than a 512.
I hope not.
Is my guess. But there's a lot of Tumble love out there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and
Is
a
this
lot of
Tumble-
Goose love.
It's Tumble's higher than it should be as it is. So
yeah, I mean it's 15 minutes and it's Goons, and that's why it's ranked.
Well, it's going to be interesting to see how people vote. That's all. I think it might be closer than a 5-12 normally would be. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
Oh man, I don't know. So this Creatures is quite good. I like it a lot.
It's fantastic. It's
you
one
get
of my favorite peaks of the year.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, you get like the full band kind of approach here. So you get the drip drums a little bit in this thing. You get a staccato rhythm guitar from Rick. You get a full-on marimba, not marimba piano, but Peters is like, like with, I I mean, it's
Great
plinky and
depiction
it's
of it.
great. Yeah. I was trying to get the individual notes there, but I can't really do that. So what else? Oh yeah, the huge peak. Sick. It's absolutely incredible. Kind of turns the Creatures Jam on its head a little bit. And then after they play this version, Creatures turns into something else entirely, which is actually kind of interesting. But this is probably the best Creatures they played in a long, long time.
Really?
Which I mean, I think so.
Oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
No,
Go ahead.
I was just I just wanted you to pull up the last comment about tumble fatigue. I can actually speak to this. I've been suffering from tumble fatigue for many years now, and it's very serious. Okay, go ahead, Neil.
Okay. Yeah, no, same. I agree. I think sometimes tumbles just kind of, you get a lot of them. This one surprises me as a 12 seed. It's a Goon Seed tumble. That's all there really is to it. You know what? Actually, I have one note that I wrote when I did the recap for this one, which is the drum track on this. And I didn't say it on the recording, but I did want to say it when we do this thing. It is the drum hit, which, I mean, I guess that's like technically a snare in this thing. And the drum track is straight out of like Field of Vibration, like Marky Mark and the Funky Bunch.
The sequencer loop drums?
No, there's a full-on drum track.
Doing.
Yes, there's a full-on drum track on top of what Cotter's doing.
The loops. Yeah.
Sure. Whatever you call it, Ryan. What should we call it, Ryan? I call it a drum track.
It's the sequencer loops.
Okay, great. It sounds to me like Marky Mark and the Funky Bunch, which is ridiculous. and it's just Goons. I don't know. I'm confused how this ended up being a 12 seed. Folks, come at me on Blue Sky and tell me why I'm wrong. I'd love to know
on my
why.
list.
Yeah,
not on my list.
Love this shit. So I had Creatures ranked, pretty decently. I had this at 33. I love this.
47.
I love this jam. I've listened to it a lot.
I think it's I think that's why it's important to say you had it at 33, because I when you say, oh man, I love this jam, I listen to it a lot.
True.
Sometimes that sounds like a higher than a 30.
It's true. Just because I listen to this Creatures a lot does not mean I have it as a 1 seed.
Because you listen to all of them a lot.
I mean, that's also true. I don't really listen to a lot of other music
other than 3 bits. Yes, we're aware.
Anyway, matchup number 4 in the Royal region.
Okay. Kev would want to talk about this Phoenix Dripfield too.
Yeah.
4 seed, June 4th, Phoenix, Arizona, Dripfield, going up against the 13 seed, another Rosewood, another Toronto Jam.
Yeah.
From the February tour.
Represent.
And yeah, it's not going to represent for long.
No, but it's here. There's one Toronto Jam in this bracket that's not losing in round 1, but
this Dripfield is my number 7 overall. So I had it
a
little bit higher than the 4 seed, but yep. So it takes it easily for me, but good job. Toronto had a couple of jams in the playlist, right?
Yep.
Yeah, I think
we didn't think that was going to be the case. I don't think at the time.
I did.
Of the shows.
Toronto
pancakes. We knew.
Yeah, the pancakes we knew. The lows were pretty low in Toronto, but the highs, there were a few of them, and they were quite high.
As we keep saying, if they had played either of the Toronto shows in June or September, they would be much more highly regarded. But it is, unfortunate that on either side of Toronto are Milwaukee and Grand Rapids. So,
Yeah, and Neil said, that's a good point. The highs were high, the lows were, the mediums were also low. So I think
that's true. That's exactly
a couple high highs.
It happens. Yeah. It happens.
Toronto.
This drip is ridiculous. This is a ridiculous drip field. I have this at 14 overall. This is an incredible groove, thick digital sauce. Rick laying it on, but it's a really incredible. It's a really incredible, just like vibe throughout, and the way that they sustain the energy through the whole thing. There's kind of 2 sections to it, 2 different, very in-your-face sections. It's pretty long.
Multi-part jam.
Yeah, exactly. And it's great. I had this Rosewood in the end at 31 overall. So not too low. I had it higher than this 13 seed, ranked it, but yeah, this drip field easily takes this and moves past the Iowa Creatures for me as well.
Yeah, this drip is strong. I had it. Oh, where did I have it? I lost it. 16 overall, which would make it a 4 seed. So nailed it again. I'm with the people.
The wisdom of the crowds. Neil's tapped into the wisdom of the crowds.
And this one's got, it's a multi-parter. It's got a giant classic rock earworm in there that Rick just develops out of nowhere. I just like wish for the alternate universe where Rick was just around writing classic rock riffs in like 1973, because that band would have been sick. I'm just saying. So in any case, yeah, that one's awesome. And it does the thing that all the big drips do, which is counterplays with dynamics to excellent effect. It's nuts how he can, layer loud and soft and make it sound so good, because it should be jarring. It should be abrasive. And he does the opposite with it. And I think that's what makes this one truly special. The Rosewood, called the Hoser Wood by some, and aptly so. Because it is an excellent jam. Of course, it's called the Hoser Wood because it was played in Toronto, and it has quite a bit of hose in it at the end. I think there's like a whole hose section at the end that I absolutely love.
No, the end is all like dark, but
Yeah, well, the Big Peak part, like you want to call that dark? I think in any case, we're not going to pick apart the jam, but I think we're talking about the same things here, just kind of in different words. But the one thing I want to say about this jam before we move on is that Peter Onspach on the piano in the month of February was insane, and he's so good in this jam. It's nuts, and that disappeared somehow for like the rest of the year. Like he wasn't taking charge on the piano like he was in February. And I think that was one of the reasons why February was so strong. It is also one of the reasons why I had this Rosewood at 28 overall. It would have been a 7 seed if my bracket was in charge. So
if I ran the zoo.
Yep.
Neil, you got to save some of that for the Sweet 16 pod.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I'm not going to fluff Peter piano playing. Oh, I don't know. Maybe I will.
I mean, you might.
I tend to. But right. No, he's doing like the whole. I joke about Rick hits the Schofield button.
Yeah.
This one is like Peter several times throughout February was like hitting the Paige McConnell button.
Oh, I thought you were just going to say Peter hits the really sick piano playing button.
No, he's like channeling Paige, and I'm just doing Fish comparisons on this podcast today.
Sorry, did you see Fish last week or did I?
I don't know, dude. I'm just feeling it. Like there's a lot of fishiness to February, and it's excellent. And well, actually, 2025 in general. But
yeah, I feel like I mentioned some 97 font comparison, and
yesterday
you guys scoffed at me.
I did no such thing. Ryan Storm rolled his eyes, though. That is true. Ryan doesn't listen to 1997 Fish. In fact, he's never heard it. He started listening in 1998 and then just kept moving on.
I wasn't alive in 1998.
You can still go back. They have recordings on Nugs.net.
I mean, I listened to...
Have you ever heard of this?
I listened to 1997 Fish all the time. I actually listened to a bunch of 1995 Fish the other day.
No way.
But anyway, let's roll things on to matchup number 5 here in the Royal region.
Okay. This is the Torero I was thinking about.
Yes.
When we were talking about, okay. 6 seed Cleveland Torero going up against the 11 seed 1 in 1 out
from
Grand Rapids.
Yeah, okay.
I'm gonna end up saying the stuff. Give me a second.
Okay. Just wanted to make sure you could read this time.
This makes me a little sad because I love this 1 in 1 out jam so much. I'm glad it's here. I'm glad it's an 11 seed. And sometimes you have some sentimental favorites like this, and you just have to accept that just making it to the big dance, they're just a small school, they made it in, no one's expecting too much from them. Hope they have fun. But happy to see it. Going to be sad to see it lose to this Torero, though, which is kind of a monster. It's probably kind of a polarizing jam, though. So 6 seed probably makes sense. I think there's probably going to be a lot of love-hate with this Torero, but I don't know.
I would like to take this opportunity to shout out friend of the pod, Captain Incredible, aka he's HDL Tube in the chat here. But this is a certified Jeffy Jam. If you have ever won a cheese eating contest on stage at a Disco Biscuits concert, this is your kind of Goose Jam. It is in the Eugene Bourne category, which means Neil hates it.
Love it.
But
I love this jam.
it's this one in, one out, stripped down, psychedelic, just like beautiful tones happening here. That said, I had it ranked at 59 overall, just because I feel as though, as amazing as that few minutes in the middle is, it's 14 minutes where a lot of it is just one in, one out. Whereas, this Torero I had ranked 30 overall. It's much longer, has a lot more jam to it, and really cool two guitar. You get a little bit of churn and then a major key shift. But I had it, so 30 overall means that this is an accurate seed for me. But yeah, I like UB. I'm happy to see this one in, one out made its way into the bracket this year, and there's a lot of love for this jam.
Yeah, man, these lower seeds, you want some of them to make it into the bracket so they stay in the conversation. For example, the Cleveland Drive, which I expected to get into the bracket. I'd hoped it would get into the bracket so we could talk about it a little bit more and get folks to give it another listen. This is another one of the jams I would put in that category of, like, I'm glad it's there so folks get another listen and we can talk about it. It really is. It's got a little bit of a mini Eugene Bourne vibe, but it also has a giant peak at the end. So they're not the same thing. They're very different. And it's awesome. And I wish they did more jams like this, in the same way that I for some reason in my mind, I categorize this the same as the Grand Rapids Half Step, where it's like, do more of these kinds of things where they're interesting takes on jams that you don't normally do, and they sound amazing. So I'm glad it's here, like you guys, so that we can talk about it just one more time, and give it one more listen collectively and talk about it. And then this Torero is a monster, and God damn it, I'm going to do another fish thing, but I have to. It's full on Yamar, and whenever they like really kind of dive into not sounding like Fish, but like playing something that is almost exactly like Fish, Trevor is the culprit, and he introduces that idea early on. And I mean, the whole way, like, I'm sure he's like inwardly grinning, because he's not grinning outwardly, but like inwardly grinning, like, haha, like I've got these guys like about to play Yamar. And of course, that is what it develops into, is a full on Yamar like jam. And it's sick. I love it. And there are this is a multi-parter, and there's like a bunch of different cool parts. But none of them are like jump out of your chair exciting. So I think that's what lands this thing where it is as a 6 seed. I had it ranked 24th overall, which would have made it a 6 seed. I want to say I had the one in, one out ranked 52, which would have made it a 13 seed. So I did have it lower, but I do love it.
I had it 37.
Wow.
Some people had it in their top 10.
I'd like it. I do wish, part of me wishes that it could make the Sweet 16, so then we could ask Peter, why don't you play one in, one out anymore?
Well, guess what, B? Just like how we've asked him unrelated questions in previous years, we can do that again this year.
Let's just do it again.
Yeah.
Let's rig the voting so that it makes it to the. Let's not do that.
I'm gonna say, based on what this one in, one out would have to beat to get to the Sweet 16, I'm not on board with that.
Not on board. Yeah.
Speaking of what it would have to beat to get to the Sweet 16, matchup number 6.
Okay. We've got a 3 versus 14 coming in at matchup number 6. 3 seed is the October 4th Into the Mist from Philly, and the 14 is the June 17 Empress from Wilmington. So, yeah, I don't think this one's very close at all. I think the Mist, as we would expect from a 3-14 matchup, takes this easily.
Yeah.
Listen, the Philly Mafia is going to be out. Watch out for them.
And I don't have this Mist that high. I have it at 30. So,
yeah, I had it at 50.
I have it at
wait,
21.
No. JK. I had it at 33. And I had this Empress at 50. They're actually oddly similar, these gems. So one is kind of, well, Goons, and then the other one is what would happen if you're living in a post-Goons world. I don't know.
We were in. I mean, not a post-Goons world, but like a more evolved form of the Goons.
Yeah, which is what it is, right?
Yeah.
So the 617 Empress, in my mind, is the first instance of that dark industrial Goons that you got in Empresses. I think they actually perfected it later. Go to the Chicago Encore Empress second half, and that one is incredible. And that one really brings it all to fruition. I think that's an excellent one. And then you also hear that a little bit in the creatures that showed up in the fall. Actually, there's like a pretty sick one in the show that they played with Mountjoy, I think, if my memory serves. But
there is.
In any case, like this is the beginning of all of that dark industrial. It's like not even like EDM-ish. It's just like chaos. Somebody like put it over like the scene in Blade when like a guy's like, I think it's Blade, like he walks into like the Dracula bar and like it starts like raining blood from the sprinkler system, and like that's like what I think of. Like that is like some dark evil shit. This is not hippie stuff. This is like wild, and this Empress is the beginning of that. But again, I think they get better at it. But this is the one that ends up in the bracket, and then Into the Mist is pretty cool because they shy away from the Goons, but they're almost there the whole entire way. And then the first part of this gem is just straight up Michael Jackson. Rick just came in hot and was just like, I'm playing Michael Jackson riffs. Like, I don't give a shit. And then it goes into like kind of this Goonsy jam. I think it's a little high for that kind of a jam. Like a 3 seed, I would expect to be kind of an exploration of a few different themes, maybe do some things that really wow you improvisationally. This thing doesn't do any of that. So I'm shocked that it's as high as it is, but it's still good. They're both good.
Philly, lots of people at the show. We'll see what happens this year.
Yeah.
We had June 15th had a 2-year run. Philly's had a 2-year run. And we'll see what happens.
Yeah. What
will the new dynasty be? Yeah, I like this Empress a lot. You get the Axel F tease in there. This was the first of the Empresses to go Goons. I mean, at this point, I would rather them Goons Empress than do like the Peter Solo, Rick Solo, peak, whatever thing. I think that
we should bring back 2021 Ryan Storm so you two could fight because you loved that shit in 2021.
Well, yeah, I mean it was more novel back then. Okay.
Yeah. All right.
Number 7, our second to last matchup of the bracket.
Yes, 7 seed, June 17th, a Western Sun from Wilmington, and it's going up against the 10 seed, February 10th, Earthling or Alien from another Toronto Jam. I didn't know there were this many actually. Is that 4?
You crazy Earthling.
5?
I think it's 4.
It's 4. It's got to be.
It's 4. Yeah, it's
at least 4.
Pancakes, Earthling, and Rosewood.
Yeah, that's right.
How many too many is that though?
1.
3 too many.
Opinion. All right, relax.
Yeah, because Jive does not like the Earthling or Alien. I do like this
one.
Well,
again, as we discussed
you don't
yesterday,
like Pink Floyd?
Yeah, Jive ranks his Earthlings or Aliens with his animals.
Yes,
and his butter rums. So that's what. But this is a statement. Western Sun, first one to hit 20 minutes since 2021, since 11/16/21. Crazy stat. Also, I had this at 34 overall. So pretty similar to where this got ranked. I guess it would have been an 8 seed on my list. I had this Earthling at 40 overall. I love this jam. That Pink Floyd vibe, the Shine On You Crazy Diamond riff from Peter, and just that wide open psychedelic space. That's one of those themes that I wish that they went into more often because it's so cool. And the way that Rick also is hanging back and taking that very textural role with the envelope filter. Really, really cool stuff. But this Western Sun wins for me. Runaway Freight Train. It's llama for a little while to continue these fish comparisons.
Thank you for taking that.
But just Runaway Freight Train for the last 12 minutes. Trevor just obliterating everything in his path. It's a great jam. but it's not winning more than one round on my bracket.
Yeah, I like both of these gems. The Earthling, I don't know. It's not like a Shine on You Crazy Diamond jam. It has that little riff that gets played throughout, which I think is neat. It kind of heightens kind of the psychedelic vibe in this one, and I think this is great. This is a whole lot better than like, all right, Rick and Trev. Like I mean, like that's why people don't like Earthling or Alien.
Yeah,
but like sick jams like this are why people should like Earthling or Alien. It's really an excellent version. And then this Western Sun is it's funny because Western Sun is like, I don't know, this thing that like encourages you to like go out and explore, and it just evokes all these emotions. And then the jam that comes out of this thing is just fire. And it's just like, it's weird. It's like the kind of jam that should come out of, I don't know, Big Modern or something, where it's just got like kind of just like, that raging energy. And there is a segment in this that does sound a lot like Llama to me. It's a great one though. If it's no Pittsburgh, but like if you want to get hyped up before you go out on the pickleball courts, Jive, I strongly recommend this one because it's a run through a brick wall jam at the end there.
It is.
I don't know. I've got it at 44, and I've got the Earthling at 53. So neither of these get much play time anymore from me. So
yep.
So we'll see. Maybe they got play time.
Maybe this will be close. Maybe this will be a close one. We'll see.
Wait do you see the next matchup, Jive? You're going to be so excited about this.
Oh yeah, let's fucking go. Our final matchup.
Man.
A song you never thought would ever be in a Jam of the Year bracket.
Yeah, I don't know. I think this is where I would start to have questions.
Will you read it, please?
and maybe want some transparency. 15 seed, 527, Green River from San Francisco going up against the 2 seed, losing to the 2 seed.
Yeah.
February 8th, Milwaukee, Everything Must Go.
The guy.
So I'm only going to talk about the 2 seed here. This is my number 3 overall. So
same.
Yeah.
Nope. Sorry. This is my 2 overall.
Okay. Yeah. Just an incredible jam. And it just, we already talked about this with the other Everything Must Go from the February tour. But I feel like this really set the tone early on. Certainly for Everything Must Go, but also some other, really amazing jams that came on this tour. So, but this was one of the best. So I think it obviously wins this one. We'll see. It might get 100% of the votes. I don't know.
It should. I mean,
maybe
if Green River gets any votes in this matchup, I'd be so pissed.
There's always a guy.
It's one of the most unique jams that Goose has ever played. This Everything Must Go. Like there are so many things, and there's so much interplay between the band that really hasn't happened in a lot of other places. You get that spacey section where Peter's doing that like clav melody, and then it gets kind of dark, and it's just every time I listen to it, I'm like, oh my God, like how did this happen, and why did it only happen once?
Well, it didn't happen just once. I really do think they recreated this magic to a lesser extent in the next Everything Must Go that they played.
Well, to a lesser extent.
Yes, to a lesser extent. And this is my jam of the year, by the way. And I firmly stand by that. I thought it would change when we listened to all this stuff and when we talked. And like my rankings always change when we talk about the music because I hear people's points. And I'm like, yeah, you're right. Or like, this thing should be here or there. This thing is still my number 1 because it does all of the things that a jam of the year should do. It goes to a bunch of different places. It has, democratic jamming where all 4 members are contributing. There's twists, there's turns, there's things that you don't expect. There's amazing musicianship. There is just cinematic approach to the jamming in general, where it's not just like generic jam band jamming. This is really cool shit the whole entire time. Yeah. And it's all engaging. And I can put this on, and no matter what I'm doing when I'm listening to this, I have to stop what I'm doing every so often and kind of like stomp my foot on the floor and say, damn, like they just did that, and like that is for me the thing that keeps me engaged in jam music is that moment of did he just do that? Like when you turn to your buddy at the show, you're like, you see that? Like, that kind of thing. And like,
I was on
that's
the couch I remember being in absolute disbelief during this jam and being like, what is happening? Who is this band? Yeah.
So I think if all things were right in the world, this Everything Must Go, for me, would actually go on to win the whole entire thing. It's really that good. This Green River is, I don't know how this got in the bracket. There's some Instagram influencer jam band kid who goes to a lot of shows who stood behind this one, and I think a lot of people saw his playlist.
I had this Green River at 56, and as a courtesy, because I think this is maybe the most locked in Trevor and Cotter have ever been. I don't think anyone should vote for it in their right mind. But it is absolutely an enjoyable jam. And hey, vibes bracket, put this one as a high seed. This is one of my most listened to jams of 2025 because it's sick.
You've just been taking fire all day for like shitting on vibes jams, and then you're like, "This is my vibes jam."
I don't think it should win, and I didn't rank it very high. But it's really sick. It's really sick.
Jive, back me up here.
Well, Jive hasn't listened to it because it's Green River, and so therefore he skipped it.
He's right.
I mean, like, the groove is tight, but like it's not the kind of thing that I would want to be in a Jam of the Year bracket. I don't know. It is good.
That's totally fair.
Hey, I was saying it earlier today. Everybody has a different rubric for what they put on their Jam of the Year playlist. Yeah. And mine is stuff like this, Everything Must Go, and not stuff like this Green River. I love this matchup because it's will I go back and listen to this Green River? Sure. I think it's great. I think it's super fun. But the number of listens, I wish Kev was here now because I could just like lay into Kev on this one. But like the number of listens doesn't define where it should land in my Jam of the Year playlist. So in any case, Everything Must Go is sick and it should win the whole damn thing. If there was any justice in the world, it would go really, really far and maybe take out the 1 seed in this region.
Well, I don't know if there's justice in the world, man. But This is your 2025 Goose Jam of the Year bracket. This is it. This is the thing. This is what we will be voting on. Very, very exciting stuff. Obviously, if you're at home right now, you can't really see that. So we're gonna go back here. But that is officially all of the matchups. We've talked about it. B, I don't know if you mentioned what you have winning your bracket. Neil said that he has the Everything Must Go. I have the Grand Rapids Madavon. But what is your champion?
Well, I did say last night that the Ben Thatch is my number one jam. So
that's
I think that implies that it can't be beat.
That's fair. So, you didn't say it tonight. I didn't remember what you had at number one. So fair.
Yeah, that's it. That's the one for me. But there's a lot of this is going to be a strong. We talked about the variants, but there's some heavy hitters at the top. So I think it may not be chalk to the Final Four, but even if it's not, those are going to be some heavy hitting matchups for sure.
For sure.
I expect there to be less chalk this year than ever, which is exciting because I think one of the things that I think people expect when they see the Jam of the Year bracket play out, or maybe you're seeing it for the first time, is you expect it to play out like the NCAA bracket where there are upsets, there are Cinderella stories, there's like a 13 seed that all of a sudden has made it to the Sweet 16. That doesn't happen in the Jam of the Year bracket.
The Green River isn't going to play a surprise greatest basketball game of all time against the Milwaukee Everything Must Go.
That's exactly the point that I was just getting at.
Is not going to change. It's not going to choke in a game.
Yeah, it's still going to be sick.
It's still going to be really sick every time you listen to it.
Well, no, and then I think you can take the sports analogy a little bit further. And, there is incredible parity in NCAA basketball where there isn't much of a difference between, let's say, like a 2 seed and a 15 seed. I mean, there is, but that 15 seed maybe has a chance. Not in the Jam of the Year bracket. There isn't that much parity. Like it is the very big difference between those high-seeded jams and low-seeded jams. So don't expect big Cinderella stories because they don't make much sense, especially when it's crowd-seeded by as many people as it has been. But as Jai pointed out yesterday, the pool of people who are voting is much, much, much larger than the pool of people who have seeded the bracket. So you might see some upsets, but not big Cinderella stories.
Yeah, I think we might see a 10 or an 11. We probably see that every year.
Yes.
But generally don't see a 12 or 13, 12 and higher. Maybe it's never happened. I don't know.
Yeah. 10's taking out 7s happens a lot, actually.
Yeah.
That's the big one. And 9's taking out 8s. But then from there on, it gets a little hazy.
Well, that's the thing.
That's the thing.
Well, reminder on some key dates. Tomorrow morning, the bracket challenge opens up. You guys will have 8 days to fill out your brackets, listen to the jams. The playlist will be live, of course, as well, before voting starts on Monday, January 12th at noon Eastern. We will, as in previous years, all the matchups will be posted on our Always Almost There socials, but you don't have to go to our socials to find the links to vote this year. Just head to aatgoosepod.com or jodyoftheyear.com. Make sure you're registered. Make sure you're verified. Let's get a great discussion going in the comments section. Once again, let's give a big hand to Neil for building this amazing website for us to use this year. Huge.
We haven't started using it yet. Hold on. Shit might
People
just go off the rails. So.
Yeah. People have been registering. Also, don't forget, reach out to Turn Clouds on Blue Sky. Vibes bracket submissions are due January 14th. Just flood his DMs if you're wondering how that works. Send him a message, and he may or may not let you know, depending on how he's feeling, because vibes. As always, let's remember that this is all about listening to the jams and discussing, another great year of Goose. This is all about having a great time. And when I inevitably get really angry at people on the internet, let's all remember that it's all about having a great time. There's no block feature in the comment section on aatgoosepod.com, I don't think. So
no, there isn't, but might have to work
comments can be
that
disabled. Yeah, comments have been disabled. For this
I have
matchup.
admin access.
We'll see that a lot.
Yeah. Okay.
The comments, there is a way to disable comments for sure.
Yeah. Well,
because if it really goes off the rails,
we really don't want to do that, because we want people to be chatting, and we want it to be without, we want there to be a place where people can chat without needing to be on any specific social media platform. And I think that was part of the goal behind having this up this year. Having it all in one place.
And keep the impersonation to a minimum. Let's not impersonate people.
Is for, just for the record.
Well, that doesn't stop impersonation, unfortunately.
Well, the good news is on the old system we didn't have a banhammer, and on this system
we have
crafted a gigantic Swift banhammer. So,
Swift.
Wow. Please don't fuck around. Be cool. Because that's the whole point of this thing, man, is to be cool
man.
And chat with your friends about this stuff. That doesn't matter what jam wins. That's the really, truly important thing.
Speak for yourself.
I think one time ever, the jam that I wanted to win has won. True. And the very first year we did this thing, I was heartbroken when Peter Anspach, of all people, murdered my favorite jam in cold blood on the internet. And I was heartbroken after that. And then I learned, it took me a couple of years, but I learned it doesn't really matter what wins. It's that we get together and we talk about this stuff. It's so cool, man. We build this playlist together. We, eventually craft a winner together. The Sweet 16 playlist that comes out of this thing is tight. It is a 2-layer vetted playlist that nothing else like this exists for any other jam band. And I think that's really cool. And if something does exist, please let me know, but I'm not aware of it. And I think it's a truly remarkable thing that gets so heavily vetted, and we're just lucky to have it. And I mean, it's all community driven.
Fish has had one for like a decade, but who cares?
But is it on the scale of this thing?
No, it is definitely not.
It's not.
And so just want to remind some people, as you mentioned the Sweet 16, we are very, very excited for the 4th year in a row. This is the 4th year, right? Yeah, this is the 4th year in a row that Peter will be joining us for the Sweet 16. Stay tuned on information and timing on when that will be. We're really, really looking forward to sitting down with him and talking about such a great year. So many great jams. Also, a reminder that for the first 2 rounds of the bracket, we will have 2 matchups each day. So make sure you're voting in all of those. And our very, very good friends at WTED, as we mentioned last night, they will be airing matchups daily at noon Eastern when they go live over at WTEDradio.com. So go over there. They have an amazing community and chat and discussion happening around the bracket as well. So go get involved. Get involved, man.
I would also tell people, if you haven't, maybe this is your first Jam of the Year bracket. While I would not recommend going back and listening to any of our podcast bracket reveal episodes, the Peter episodes are actually really cool. They're kind of timeless. You know what I mean? They're not locked into that bracket of that particular year. There's a lot of really cool insights that Peter shares with respect to kind of, how he kind of ranks these jams, which he does. He submits his seeds and he'll talk about, how he ranks jams, the things that he listens for, his personal kind of vibe experiences. And so it's really, those are really cool episodes, I think, to listen to get a lot of kind of insight into maybe some of the nerdier side of how we look at their music and jams than you might normally get from a band member. So I think it's 100%. Really cool stuff.
Great point.
Yeah, we are forever grateful that he kind of gets his hands dirty and gets into the muck with us, which is great. And he does drop incredible insights in those episodes. When Peter says something like, "This is my favorite thing we've done all year," and we're just all like, "Wait, what?" That's nuts. Like, I'm reminded of like the Chrysalis Earthling Aurelian when he's like, "This is the coolest thing we've ever done." We were like, "Say what now?"
I was going to say, we didn't react enthusiastically to that.
But like,
really?
it's fascinating to hear that perspective from a band member, because you
100%.
typically don't get that insight ever.
100%.
And so it's a great thing.
Yeah,
and we're super grateful that he chooses to do it.
Yeah, and we are also grateful, especially Neil, that Peter's influence on the bracket is not what it once was back in 2020.
Cold blood murder.
Cold blood. And
oh my God.
Tune in for the Sweet 16 pod when Neil will bring that up to Peter once again, as he does every year.
4 years running.
Yeah, 4 years running. Oh my God, I'm trying to think if I'm missing any other bit of housekeeping. But stay tuned to our socials and aatgoosepod.com tomorrow. We will be posting the bracket and all this information, so you don't have to remember it. Links to everything, how you can get involved, how you should get involved. But everybody, we love you all very, very much. Thank you again for an amazing 2025. First of all, this community keeps getting bigger and better, but also all of the support that you guys showed us all year, tuning in for the day after shows, listening to the tour recaps, saying hi to us at shows, being excited when B got his missed ending in June because, he wasn't at a lot of shows, so you couldn't say hi to him very much. R.I.P. B's rain jacket. Also, that was a casualty of 2025.
Did Jev get punched in the face again this year?
No, not this year. No. That was during the Fiddler's Madavon. They didn't play a Fiddler's Madavon level jam this year. So maybe 2026 in Colorado.
Okay.
He'll get punched again. Who knows? But we love all of you very, very much. We are immensely grateful for everything that you guys do. We're just...
Dude, you're just feeling the vibe right now. Like I'm like vibing off of you, vibing off of the jam.
Bracket season.
It's bracket season. It just vibes are high in bracket season.
Glee. Yeah. Until your favorite jam gets knocked out, and then Ryan is just inconsolable. But we'll see. We'll see.
I think there might be more jams this year that I would not be like that I didn't have at number one, that I wouldn't be that upset if they won. If that makes sense. I feel like in past years, there have been more crowd favorites that I had ranked a little bit lower that I didn't want to win. That's just me personally. I'm also annoying. So
it's the thing is, man, it doesn't matter which one wins. It doesn't matter.
It's true.
There's literally nothing riding on this. The only thing that matters is
bragging rights.
Tell Uncle Fred's Drive that.
Yeah, but there's a lot riding on it for some people. Will Uncle Fred's Drive get the 4-peat?
No.
You don't think so?
I set some odds that were pretty heavily against him last year, and I'm going to double down. There's
What is
no
Vegas
way.
saying? What's Vegas saying
There's
about
no
his
way
odds
he
this year?
gets. There's no way he gets 4 in a row.
I'm gilding the strange man right now. Gilding the fucking strange man.
Yeah.
And I'm going to etch his name in the bottom. And if he doesn't win it, then the person who does win it should be reminded that they're just standing in the shadow
of greatness,
of a juggernaut,
of true greatness.
Just true greatness.
Sure. I think maybe his name should be on it. You know what I mean? Like they do with like the NFL,
like the Stanley Cup,
like the Lombardi Trophy. So, yeah, you know what I mean? Like past winners should be, etched. Their name should be etched in
Uncle Fred's Jive, Uncle
time.
Fred's Jive, Uncle Fred's Jive. Yeah,
that would look actually pretty sick. You know what I mean?
When we increase the budget for this whole thing, we'll have a guy with like white gloves carrying it around.
Yeah, somebody like when it's actually 24 karat gold.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's great. Anyway, thank you all for joining us this weekend. We hope you all have a fantastic rest of your weekend. We love you all very, very, very much. And we will see you very soon for the start of the bracket. And I guess the next time we will be doing a podcast will be the Peter episode. So we'll see you guys then. But of course, let's get the discussion going now. Let's hear what people are thinking for their brackets. Post pictures of yours once you filled it out. Let's share these things. But it's going to be a good one this year. We're excited. Thanks again for tuning in, guys. This has been the Always Almost There Goose Jam of the Year Bracket Reveal Part 2. Have a great night, and we'll see you next time. Peace.